What's up, guys? We're going to be doing a quick video. Somebody asked me for it over on TikTok and on Instagram the other day, and that is a review slash overview of Carnage 3.0 since I switched the body up to a more long Y0. This has actually now got 3 tournament wins under it since it's been in this body, and it has not been in this body long. And it's done some serious work, some serious podium finishes, and the thing's just a killer. Honestly, it's been great since I switched it in this body. I was having some problems in the other body due to some 3D printed parts I wasn't super happy with, so I switched it into an all metal construction body with the only thing being 3D printed is the outer barrel, and it's carbon, so the piece that actually goes right in here is 3D printed, but it's super light for honestly what it is. Like with a tank, a lot of the weight goes straight into your shoulder and you really don't feel any of the weight of the gun, but it's still got a lot of movement to be able to move around and give you kind of a longer barrel in here, along with a really nice long tracer, so it's a little bit quieter. You can't be heard around the bunkers as I smack myself in the face with it. Let me get a tank on this thing right underneath me here. If you guys know anything about how I usually am doing stuff, there's always a tank within close range. This is actually the tank that goes on it, but I was trying to help out some of the guys with building one of their guns the other night, and need to put a regulator on things every once in a while. And I got a cheap amped reg. Not the hugest fan of them, but they do their job for sure. So with the tank on it, that's what the gun looks like. I actually really enjoy the way this thing looks and feels. When you're on it, feels really good. Transition feels really good, and anybody who knows OTM Bandit, he's been using this lately in tournaments and been having a ball. But I'm going to go over a few things, and we're just going to start with the tank because I feel like that's the easiest thing to explain. This is an HK 48 4500 with a Ninja reg on top. I did blow the HK reg pretty quick, so I put a Ninja reg on it, thanks to Lone Wolf, with a Bunker King tank grip on the outside. This is probably my favorite combo with the Ninja reg, the HK body, because of the paint that they used, not the paint, but the finish they use on the glass. And then I love these Bunker King grips. They're not super grippy, but they're enough, and they'll grab onto what you need them to. So that's the tank. That scared the crap out of me. I don't know if the camera picked that up, but this whole thing just shot air. It felt like it was like out to here, and it was against my arm, and it was like, oh. But getting into the guts now, this is actually an EMG suppressor, the Guardian, I believe it's called, that I have done some mods to, like opening up the hole up front to let. It was having problems where BBs were skipping off the side, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, that's alignment. It wasn't alignment. It was something else because we had the gun perfectly aligned, and it was still shanking BBs off to the side. So I actually opened the hole, and that seemed to change a lot of the problems that stopped them. And it's obviously got the Ace Tech tracer in the bottom. I'm actually going to pull it off for you guys so you can see the full livery of the paint. But a lot of it hides because I love the Honey Badger style, and I do that quite often. But it's got the Predator language and the English language saying haha all over it because, as you guys know, this is the Predator gun. Something's loose in there. But inside of here, it is empty for YouTube purposes. Anybody who knows why I'd say it's empty for YouTube purposes, you already know. Then we've got the tracer right here. It's kind of loosening up, it seems like. Probably from abuse. This thing's about a year old now. Seen a lot of wear and tear in its time. Super easy to use though. Really like this tracer when I got it to work. Now looking down into the barrel, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see that if I can get the light in there. But there's actually a ring right in there that makes sure that the outer barrel and the inner barrel stay right in the middle of the gun, because yeah, we did think it was an alignment issue, but I'm kind of glad we did that at the end because it does make the gun look super clean and super straight along the side. Up front, we have the normal Carnage rail. I don't talk about what rail this is. If you know, you know. I don't like to encourage people to use these because they're super hard to get, and I love them. Then in the middle we have the Carnage Customs body, upper and lower. Obviously full custom to me, just with a half cut, which is my favorite, with the boxed window for the hop up, just so I can get my finger in there. Other side, we've obviously taken off a lot of the metal up front and on the top, so I can still access that. Inside we have the amped limited edition red Fusion engine. Yes, I was one of the 12 that got them. Super awesome engine. It just looks so good when you just look through there and see a little glimpse of red inside of there. Not the actual first engine that's been in this gun. When I converted everything, I switched a lot of the parts. Inside of the trigger well, you guys can kind of see it, but it does say fuck off right there. Just because I don't like, I always drill and Dremel the hole up there, and it always looks terrible. So it's a running joke with me that I say that if you're looking at my Dremel job for my trigger guard so it moves freely, you're the problem and to fuck off. And I say that a lot at the field, and it's more of a joke. A lot of people know it's a joke, but it's kind of one of my things, and that's why we laser engrave that in there. Then we have the Monk metal grip. This is number 10, I believe, on the serial. And this thing, I pre-ordered them. I've actually gone to Skull Grips for my latest builds just because of how hard and how expensive these are for what they get. I don't really love everything about them, but I do think it's still a good grip. We laser engraved the Carnage head and ha 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 all over it. This was painted teal. As you guys can see, it's taken quite a beating and eventually will get repainted. The other side is where a lot of the beatdown has happened, right here and throughout here, keeping the end cap the same color with the Wolverine 2 in it. And I also drilled a little bit along this to make it universal to fit any gauge. Kept the ha 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 all the way around. And then to show you guys this side going straight down is the same. And then the back plate, which is the exact same. And then the front, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see that, but we did the whole grip. With a standard max, oh, you guys can't see it from that side. Standard max hop-up unit, a Prometheus Smart, which is 6.03. I'm a big sucker for those. You don't got to clean them as often. They don't get as crazy dirty. And then I'm running a Promi Purple in it, just my normal, average all the way around. Just does its job. Max mag release. I'm going to pull it up here so you guys can see it. Max mag release. Super good in these. I don't know why. Max parts used to not fit very well, and now they fit great. So whatever Max is doing over there did a great job. I've got a red speed trigger. I know before they were like gold to try and find them, and now I can get them whenever I want, which I'm actually super happy about because it was such a pain in the ass when I had to go look for them. But red speed trigger. I've done some modifications to the actual trigger spring so it feels good. You don't really need as much of a reset with the Fusion engine because it does have that button click. You can actually take a few coils out of the spring and give yourself a little bit of a nicer pull instead of having a little bit more of a, I don't want to say restricted pull, but restricted pull. This thing has done me very well, even though you can tell because the paint's cracking off of it that this thing gets used all the time. And even in the front here, I forgot to even show this. I'm going to be able to bring this in a little bit. The ha ha ha's all the way around in four corners. This thing has seriously seen some abuse, and turf, which we mainly play on, is no joke, and it's taken a beating. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. I think it being beat up makes it look a little bit better, and you guys can leave your opinion on that in the comments. But I definitely super happy about this, guys. And this gun's been around for a little bit, and now I'm just kind of getting around to like, it's done. I don't got to mess with it no more. I don't got to think about it. I just got to make sure that it stays running, which, I mean, that's every airsofter and anything with HBA. I did do some mods to the Fusion engine. Oh, people asked me about that in the Carnage 1.0 video. There is a lightning banjo in here. There is a red poppet and a purple nozzle, which is my favorite combo for shorter barreled guns. Even though this doesn't seem as short, the barrel does end about right here. Right about there. So you still have all this room right here that the barrel's not in. So I still went with a red poppet. Does make it shoot a little bit better and achieve limit a little bit easier depending on what your limit is. I'm able to get I've gotten this to 1.3, and that's been like as far as I've been wanting to take it. And for the most part, we use 1.2 to 1.1, and then at home we use 1.0. So this thing's really versatile. It shoots all the way down to 0.8 So if I need to go down that far, I could. There's certain situations people are gonna be like, why would you ever go down like that? Certain situations you want to. For air efficiency, if there's no more, like we had an air compressor break at our home field, and that was mainly how you get air. So it was a lot easier for us to just turn our tanks down and get really air efficient with a little bit less FPS than it was to have to go out and drive somewhere to go get air or just be airless all day. So that was really a big selling. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, this gun started out looking 100% different, and I think I did a quick video on TikTok with it, and there's a bunch of videos of before this was modded to look like this. And that actually, here's the lower that used to be on it. This is Carnage 3.0's original lower with the big scratch marks in teal going up to the top. I actually just put it in the body. This is the Predator buffer tube. The Predator gun was originally not a Euro. It was actually a smaller version of Carnage 1.0, which is why this is all kind of folded together. And you guys can see the teal and red Carnage head over here with all the ha ha ha. If you guys haven't figured it out, I really enjoy the like play on it on Cletus Cassidy, that he is an insane person who is the wielder of Carnage, the symbiote. So I do that quite often all over the bodies and have the spider in his mouth right here. But for anybody who didn't know, that's what the gun originally looked like. Now it looks like this and is a lot more fun and honestly feels a lot better in the hand when you're using it. I am going to take some time eventually and weld a hand stop onto here, just about here, so that way I can lock my hand into it, and it's going to give it a bit more front heavy weight, but honestly this thing could need that right now. It feels like when it's in your shoulder, it just feels super, super balanced, but if I were to add a little bit of weight here, you can have your hand in here and not feel like you're just going to do that with it all the time. No selectors. A lot of people always ask about that. I don't have any selectors on my guns except 1.0. And obviously my Pulsar build, but because it needs it. But anything that I don't have to have a selector on or don't have some reason, I don't keep the selector on. Carnage 1.0 has a selector because if I ever went outdoor, that'd be the gun I'd use. These are never going to go outdoor. These are never going to do anything with full auto. It's way more beneficial for me just to take them off and semi-lock the gun and keep it there than it is to have full auto and have that as a possibility. I'm going to give you guys a top down from the rail so you guys can see that fade all the way through. And I usually have an end cap on here. I actually took the end cap off because I didn't like the way it rattled around because of the way it was. Just testing. But if you guys want to see any more guns, I have a CSL build. I think I've done 2.0 on my TikTok, but I have not done it on YouTube. I did 1.0. We have the Ripsaw that still has to be done. And I also have the LMG, which is a super basic build, but anybody who wants to have a little bit of fun and has some spare parts laying around, an M249 lightweight or featherweight or whatever they call it is super duper fun of a gun. It eats every fucking mag you can ever put through it. Any mag that I've ever tried to stick into it that was an M4 platform worked. I also have the PKP build. That's not done just yet, so we're getting there. I have obviously 4.0, which I kind of gave you guys a look at the lower. And then I may have a new build coming. Only time will tell. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, you want to know anything about the gun that I may have forgotten, if you want to see another gun, please leave it in the comments. On our road to try and get monetized here, guys. I need view hours, so anytime you share this video and people watch it, I really appreciate it. It does a lot for me. Liking and subscribing obviously does so much for me. It boosts that algorithm, so I really appreciate it. Please share this. If you see it on Instagram, if you see it on YouTube, please share this out to your friends that like airsoft. I'm an airsoft builder out of Detroit, Michigan. I own a company named Carnage Customs. I'm going to leave a link for it down in the description. If you want anything custom, hit me up on there. I'll be able to help you guys out. If you want to look cool like this when you're out in the field winning, that's the way to do it. I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end of the video. Have a nice day, guys. I'm G. Peace.